The 2023 NHL Trade Deadline is right around the corner. Kent Hughes and the Montreal Canadiens have already completed a Russian swap. Will there be more? I sure hope so. And in today's video, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a trip down memory lane, okay? We're gonna take a look at all the deals the Montreal Canadiens completed last season before the trade deadline. I'm gonna start things off with the smaller crappy trades and work my way up to the trades that I felt were the biggest. So let's get the ball rolling here. Coming in at number 7, on March the 2nd, the Montreal Canadiens would ship off Michael McNiven to the Calgary Flames in exchange for future considerations. So how did this one pan out? Well, to make a long story short, McNiven is now playing for the Swamp Rabbits in the ECHL. And meanwhile, in Montreal, future considerations will surely have its jersey retired one day. Moving on to number 6, and this is a 2-part trade. So for those of you that are sitting on a toilet, pay attention. Because on February 12th, after a night of heavy drinking and cheeseburgers in Montreal with Jeff Gordon, Kent Hughes would decide to acquire the Hamburglar himself from the Minnesota Wild in exchange for AHL tough guy Brandon Baddock. So the Hamburglar would arrive in Montreal in mid-February, unpack his suitcase, and before the poor guy even had the chance to take a shower at his billet house, he would be flipped once again on trade deadline day for Nate Schnarr. Yes, Schnarr. Nate Schnarr still plays with the Rocket to this day, and he bears a striking resemblance to Jack Nicholson, which is a win for the Habs in my book. Now let's get on to the more serious trades. Trade number 4 would also happen on trade deadline day, when the Montreal Canadiens would send Bret the Kool-Aid Man Kulak with 50% of his salary retained to the Edmonton Oilers in exchange for William Legason, Habs legend, a 2022 second-round draft pick which turned out to be Kulak and Hudson, and a 7th-round pick in 2024. Now, as for who won this trade, listen, I'm sure that Oilers fans are just jumping up and down with Bret Kulak right now. Maybe, but just from what I've seen from Kulak and Hudson so far, this one could possibly be an absolute steal for Kent Hughes and the Habs. Okay, I know what you're thinking, we haven't even seen him play in the NHL yet, but unlike a lot of these guys, his ceiling is pretty high. Now let's go ahead and take a look at trade number 3 on my board. This one also happened on March 21st, which was again the trade deadline day, when the Montreal Canadiens would send Arturri Lehkonen with 50% of his salary retained to the Colorado Avalanche in exchange for a really good defense prospect in Justin Kangaroo Barron and the 2nd-round draft pick in 2024, which could also turn into a pretty good player. I mean, Lehkonen himself was a 2nd-round draft pick. Now this is one of these trades where I think everybody is happy as of right now, okay? The Avs went on to win a Stanley Cup, with Turkey being just important to their team as he is on Christmas Day for dinner. And as for the Montreal Canadiens, I mean, Justin Barron, he's only 21 years old, he's looking pretty promising, he's already got 3 goals and 6 assists since being recalled from Laval this season, and I'm pretty confident that he's going to be a good future defenseman for the Habs. So again, I really like this trade, and I like it for both of these teams. Now moving on, let's open up a can of trade number 2. And this one happened on February 14th. Love was in the air, and this would be the first really big move that Kent Hughes made. This is the trade that would send Tyler Ravioli Toffoli to the Calgary Flames. Okay, this was a pretty big move. In return, the Canadiens would receive a Pitlick, which was the hot commodity last year for some reason. They got back Emil Heineman, who showed at camp this preseason that he's a pretty good prospect. They also got a 1st-round draft pick in 2022, which turned into Philip Mijar, and a 5th-rounder in 2024. Now, while this was a pretty exciting trade, I'm sure, for both teams, I gotta say, because I don't think this gets talked about enough, the Calgary Flames got a good deal here, man. Ravioli is awesome. He's He's under a cheap contract. He's been putting up big points in Calgary since going over there. And yeah, I personally don't think that this was an overpayment by the Calgary Flames. I'd say they're happy. Now, from the Canadian standpoint, Tyler Pitlick is already gone. Emil Heineman, who's just 21 years old, is still looking pretty good. We're gonna know more about him this summer. Dude, where's Mijer is having a pretty decent season for the Kitchener Rangers. And the future pick is still in the womb. So again, there's no winner just yet, and hopefully Mijer and Heineman can both turn into decent NHLers. That would be wicked. Alright, and now it's the moment that we've all been waiting for. It's the grand finale. Give me a Simmons drum roll. Number 1. On March 16th, the Canadiens would place Ben Chiarot in a nice cardboard box, along with a bunch of money for his contract, ship him off over to the Florida Panthers, and in exchange they would receive Ty Smelmanik, that's his new name around here, an unprotected first round draft pick in 2023, wow, and a 4th round pick in 2022, which I'm pretty sure turned out to be Cedric Guindon, who's having a pretty decent year in the OHL. And listen, this one, I can already tell you, okay, I can see into the future, this trade is a win. Even if Guindon goes on to be a carny at an amusement park selling hot dogs for the rest of his life, it's still a win. Because that 2023 first round draft pick is gonna be money. And Ben Chiarot, of course, was crap in Florida, and I love it. So again, a lot of these trades have to be taken with a grain of salt, okay? When Kent Hughes made a lot of these, he was thinking about the future. He was thinking about the cheeseburgers. He was thinking about the prospect pool. So really, until like 5 years from now, we can get a better understanding on how Justin Barron's gonna look, how Philip Mijer and Emil Heineman are gonna look. We won't really know who won these trades until then. But you gotta admit, they were pretty exciting. So let me know which one of these trades you like the most. I mean, obviously the Ben Chiarot trade is gonna be the most beloved one of all, but after that, which one of the other trades did you like? And also, if somehow you're still watching this video and you haven't subscribed yet, then hey, you can tickle that red button. Go ahead, do it. Don't forget to spear the like button in the guts on the way out of here. And hey, I'll see you next time.